Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to Let's Play Celeste. We have reclimbed 1,000 meters of the mountain, and we have, if I remember right, 2,000 meters and change ahead of us. And we're playing the greatest hits of the game's platforming mechanics. You'll recognize all of this from the temple in, was it Chapter 2 or Chapter 3? Except remixed in such a way as to take advantage of everything that we have learned since then. Oh, we're not going to be able to complete this because I needed that extra dash. And yeah, this is also going to be taking advantage of the fact that we, as a result of the reconciliation with part of Madeline, have multiple dashes now. And as always, how many dashes you have left before you have to touch the ground or get one of those diamonds is indicated by hair color. When it's this new shade of light pink, that means you have your full 2 dashes, and it goes to the red that we started the game with. Oh, I had the corner of that little block, and I just took a little micro step to the right and stepped off. These levels are fun. Difficult though, especially while talking. Wait, can I land on some? No, to reset the dash. Anyway, when it's red, you have 1 dash left, and then when it's blue, you are all out and will have to replenish your dashes somehow. Either using one of the other mechanics or just touching the ground like that. But honestly, all of these feel so good, especially this one. This is one of my favorites. Because now we have to go down. It's just this crisscrossing little pathway you have to figure out for yourself to get through that. And then this room is just pure fun. It's not particularly hard. It just gives you a chance to really string together tons and tons of air dashes while going through these dreamlike blocks. And once we reach Palm, part of me, that's usually the last few screens of the level, or of that section. Look at you, Miss Positivity over here. You're so supportive. Don't push your luck. Teasing the entity that has made her life hell for so long. Oh wait, I've set myself on a path to get... the strawberry. I'm going to the left here to get out. And we have re-entered our cycle-based hell, Mr. Oshiro's hotel. Hopefully, doesn't cause too many issues. There are a couple of pretty tricky rooms on this leg of the mountain, but I have a good feeling about this. This is one of the harder ones that might take me a few tries. It's not getting to the mechanism that is the problem. It's that second dash to get out. Just have to delay it a little bit. That went way better than I expected it to. That one gives me fits sometimes. As does this room, just because it's one of the longer ones in the hotel section. So we're good for that. We still have a couple of things that could trip us up. Nope, this is looking okay. Just have to get through this last little bit. Scary. So in the meantime, NoClip did a short little documentary video on Celeste's development, I think late last year. And pretty early on in it, they were talking about this game, Celeste Classic, for the Pico-8, which is something that I had never heard of before. The game that Celeste proper is based on, I had heard of, but the system, the Pico-8, hadn't heard of that before. What it is something new to me, which is a fantasy console, or a console without an actual physical hardware kit. And that's to say that that it has things like development tools and specifications, just like a normal console would, just without the actual physical hardware. Ooh, wait. Can I regain my dash somehow? Nope. The FAQ on the Pico-8 site is actually pretty good at describing it. It says that it's like a retro emulator for a console that never existed. So Celeste Classic was this 128 by 128 16 color channel platformer. I hope Mr. Oshiro is okay. Why? He treated you like garbage. Yeah, but I still care about him. And you didn't have to snap at him like you did. Whatever. I mean it, you're way too aggressive. Well, you put too much energy into bad people who will just end up hurting you. Mr. Oshiro isn't a bad person. He transformed into a monster. He tried to hurt you. And now you're defending him? I'm not defending him. I'm on your side here. I'm mad at him too. I might still be in that hotel if you hadn't forced the issue, but I still hope he's alright. Okay. I'm sorry for snapping at Mr. Oshiro. Thanks. It's in the past now. Hell yeah. Compromise. Oh, and this, we're about to get into some fun stuff right away. This first screen is good. Just for teaching you about what's to come. So Celeste Classic shares a lot of its aesthetic. Granted, not as detailed or as fluid. And it shares a lot of mechanics with what is now Celeste. It was the prototype for the game, and like so many amazing indie games, it started out as a game jam project created over 4 days. Okay, cool. That room took me a little bit longer than expected. Took me like solid minute. So where were we at? Visually, it's chapter 1 of the game, and that starting point is what they worked off of when they said, let's see if we can fill out this concept into an even bigger, full game over a few months. And then it evolved, and as they explored the idea, they made it to chapter 3 of what is now the final game, before they really had a solid idea of where things were going. Oh, I'm not feeling this. Okay, good. They also revealed that part of Madeline was originally conceived of as just a game mechanic before they went back and thought through the narrative implications of it and like what the emotional content of that could be. Now, she still does have a function mechanically, as we've seen. Oh, this one's really clever. But it's later in the game that we see that role, and it's not her primary role. So we have to get that one through the crystals. That does not block these blocks off. And then this one, you just kind of have to go because it's an auto-scroller, so you can't spend too much time thinking about your next move. You just have to go with it. Makes this really, really fun. Oh no! Ooh. That's new. Oh, yeah. That one took me a minute to get everything just right. Kind of like the direction that we're heading for the next screen. I'm actually surprised by how little editing that I have had to do. I don't think I can, nope, pull that one off. I'm surprised with how little editing I've had to do throughout this LP. That was actually a major concern of mine, given the game's difficulty, was I wasn't sure how much I would have to cut around failed attempts, but they really haven't been an issue, or rather, that hasn't been a big concern. Things have gone shockingly smoothly for this being a live commentary LP of a pretty hard game. Just a handful of times that has had to happen, and it'll probably happen a few more times during this finale. There's still plenty of tricky checkpoints coming up, especially during the ending sprint, which we're not even quite halfway to yet. That was a close one. Yeah, I wasn't sure if we'd make it. Actually, I lied. We're a little more than halfway. Maybe you were right. Maybe this is too dangerous. No, I was wrong. We can climb this mountain. I've got your back. And I believe in you. That means a lot to me. Hell yeah! So we are at 2,500. I think it's when we hit 3,000 that we hit the end sprint. And this one is going to be reminding us of all of our mirror temple mechanics. Like the... Whoops. I don't know why I actually threw that attempt away. I had everything exactly where I needed it to be. So we have the platforms that move when we dash. It's nice that they give you those couple of seconds of leeway to preserve your inertia coming off of like a moving platform or an elevator or something. To give you just enough room to screw up a little bit or to delay it. They do the same thing with the jump, by the way. You can actually buffer the input for the jump a couple of frames before you hit the ground so that you don't just look like you're about to hit the ground, press the button, and then have it feel like your input is being eaten. It's like a 2 or 3 frame window, I think? Oh wait, this isn't right. Yeah, we had to get rid of that with a dash, and I think we have enough time to do this. Yeah. Oop! I didn't. I usually have the habit of holding the trigger down the whole time that I'm playing, just in case I need to grip a wall. That time I was actually not holding it down. Don't know what I thought was going to happen there. So we have that and the red bubbles now. Let this carry us. And do I want to get rid of this first before I try dashing? This is a fun room since you have to cancel out of the bubble with a straight up dash. So this is just like a little angular maze. Nothing too hard about it. It just feels good to do. Okay, I want to make sure I have my positioning right. And then this, up. Oh wait. Oh yeah, I forgot. You can just, as soon as the gate lifts, use the second dash to get up here. You don't actually have to go back and reset on the spring. Messed that up anyway, but still. Hey, there we go. Sometimes you know what to do, it just takes a while to make your fingers actually do it. Now that we see Palm, whoop, she will pilot us up to where we need to be to hit 3,000 meters. This is just a really cool construction of a level. And then this is the only part that I think is really tricky because the speed picks up. This is it, the home stretch. We're so close, we're gonna make it. Yeah. What's wrong? I'm sorry. I was holding you back. I need to learn to trust you. It's not your fault. I tried to leave you behind. And honestly, I've been trying to leave you behind my entire life. I'm sorry. I wish I tried to understand you sooner. I was too proud or stubborn or something. We wasted so much time and energy. At least we're finally talking about it. Yeah, I'm glad the mountain brought you out. I think we can move past this. If we can climb this mountain together, we can do anything. What if we don't make it? I'd be okay with that. You would? Of course. I'm just glad we're trying. I really needed to do this. I'm finally starting to understand why. Let's finish it. Okay, so when we hit 3,000 meters, we have 30 of these checkpoints. Some of them are spaced pretty close to one another. They all act as respawn flags. Oops, I didn't get the diamond. I didn't get the diamond twice. And the 20s are mostly pretty easy and straightforward. The teens tend to be pretty tricky. And then the late 10s are also pretty hard. There's a crystal heart over here, just hidden behind some clouds. And some other crystal shapes. Some conspicuous little shapes. We have a downward gust this time around. Does really tricky things to your dashes and to your jumps. Makes them feel much stubbier. But just like that, that's 27 to 26, and that's barely no distance at all to cover. No profound difficulty. Same to get to 25. That'll change pretty rapidly. Oh, I always do that! I always get spooked about the wind and then just overshoot it. Like, I overcompensate for it so hard. Whoop, oh, oh. We saved it. It's fine. Oh, oh. We're having a few close calls on those loose stones. Oh no, wait, why did I do that? I could have just reset my dashes on the snow-crusted little ledge here. And we're almost done with the 20s. And now things will pick up. Like... yeah, shit. Like so. Okay. I was worried that was going to be one of those parts that just takes me a weirdly long time for no good reason. 1/3 done. And then this is cool, because it's just a chain of continuous dash resets all the way up, fighting against the gale. Until you reach Palm. To get you to checkpoint 19. Where instead of the downward wind, we actually have an uplifting one. And contrary to what you might think, even though that helps us get way more distance vertically on our jumps and our dashes, it does not make things easier. Oh, yeah. God, I love that. That little desperate ledge. Nope. There we go. I kept bonking my head on that part. And then that's tight because you have dwindling stamina, and you have to get high enough that you can clear all the spikes without a dash. Cool. That one usually gives me more issues than that, so I just stayed silent throughout. You can tell as it gets more intense, because I get quieter. Oh, this part's a trip. Really have got... Whoops. To clean up my inputs on this part. But... easier said than done sometimes. Okay, 11 I remember having a hard time with. In pretty much all my playthroughs, just because it's tight. That's really solid, though. And then this part's super fun. Just, ooh, that's... I didn't believe. Nice. So this one gives me a lot of trouble. So I am... Are you fucking kidding me? Ah! That shouldn't happen. I guess I'll just give the one that's always given me the hardest time. I guess I'll just do that one in one shot. Whatever. I think the trick that I finally found to doing that one is that after the dash up that takes you through the diamond that refills your dashes, before you dash over to the left, I think you have to hold right for just like a split second so you can line yourself up better for that upwards dash at the end. 5 to go. Actually, it's a short checkpoint, so 4. This one, you can tell it's going to be a longer stream because they give you the binoculars. I think I've wasted my second dash there, so gotta restart that. Oop, that's way too far out. I'm actually looking to just jump left and then do an upwards dash. Cool, cool, cool. These feather parts at the end are really fun, and I made it. I was looking for a second like I might not. And around. There's some tight left-rights. Whoops. Ba-da-da-da. Yeah, I wasn't holding straight right that time. Cool. One more to go, and this one is not that hard. What? Oh my god. I don't want to jinx it. Okay, now we're out of the woods. Oh my god. I don't know what happened there. That is genuinely not a section that I would consider to be very hard. And yet, that one wound up taking me like 2 minutes for some reason. We have made it. We actually did it. I can't believe it. Oh, it's so beautiful. Look at how far we've come. I'm glad I got to see this before I... Well, before I... Oh, right. When we leave the mountain, you won't be able to talk to me anymore. At least not like this. Yeah. I know that we need to go home eventually, but it'll be scary to lose this body. You'll still exist, though. You were part of me before we came here. Yeah, I know. But I'm gonna have to depend on you to listen to me. Even if I can't talk to you in person anymore. I just can't go back to how it was before the mountain. Don't worry, I can't go back to that either. I really want us to work together from now on. I believe you, but I'm still nervous. So, now what? Let's just enjoy this for a bit. Beautiful. I'm really glad this was picked for me to LP. Celeste delights me in every way, from the part of me that just loves the fundamentals of good feeling movement and dashes, to the part of me that obviously relates really heavily with Madeline. Oh, and the photos. So I've struggled with clinical depression and anxiety for near enough my entire life. And to see a game that discusses those with such earnestness and honesty means a lot to me. And I hope games and all sorts of media continue to make mental health a theme and a point of discussion. That's something that's really improved over the last couple of years. There have been stunning, really, really good depictions of various types of mental health issues and mental health disorders in games like Night in the Woods, in games like Hellblade, and Celeste, obviously. I'm really happy about that. On the clouds. This story is at once both extremely broad, but also extremely personal. It's personal specifically to Matt Thorson, one of the game's principal creators, because they also grew up struggling with mental health issues, and video games were a form of escapism from those issues. I'm sure a lot of other people will find that familiar because of just how broadly affecting mental illness is. It's tremendously common. Even though those of us suffering often think of ourselves as being isolated or alone in our struggles. We're not. You're not. And a lot of that is just due to the stigma that persists and how little we're used to talking about mental health in general. And again, I think that's slowly changing. It's slowly changed over the course of my lifetime. I've noticed a marked improvement in how we discuss mental health. It's still scary and challenging, though, and it's why I find this game so powerful and so special on top of everything else that's great about it. I've just gushed over this whole time. And I think, granted, the approach that it takes is not for everyone. This kind of reconciliation with the parts of your mind that produce really acute anxiety responses or lock you down with depression and self-esteem problems. But I think the perspective is still valuable, and that approach is for someone. Aw, thanks for playing. It's honest, which is important, and the broad strokes of just the act of coping and how beleaguered it can leave you feeling is something universal, even if you don't necessarily relate to Madeline's specific struggles and her methods of coping. Madeline, did you make it to the summit? Yeah, we did. It was incredible. Beautiful, isn't it? I didn't think it would be worth it, but it totally was. I should have given you my phone so you could take the ultimate selfie. Mr. Oshiro, what are you doing here? A little bird told me there was to be a party. RSVP by bird, positively magical. But if I'm unwelcome, I shall take my leave. Please stay, Mr. Oshiro. It's good to see you. You know, this is the first time I've seen you outside of that hotel room of yours, Oshiro. I'm glad you made it. Madeline here is baking us a pie with all the strawberries she's been collecting. They did have a point. Oh, that's wonderful, Miss Madeline. I haven't had strawberry pie since I was a kid. This is gonna be amazing. Don't get your hopes up, she's not much of a baker. You also said I wasn't a mountain climber. True. Can't promise it'll live up to the hype, Theo. I tried my best. We got one more little thing. So there are 5 ending variants. This is the 0 to 31. I guess this is technically a pie. Is this some kind of joke, Miss Madeline? Strawberry pies are supposed to have strawberries in them, dear. There's also one from 30 to 49, 50 to 89, 90 to 150, and 150 plus, where the pie is just more and more decadent and filled to burst with berries. And they like it more and more, which is cute. And at 200, you also get a gold strawberry stamp on your save file. Okay, that's just the epilogue. We also have Chapter 8, which I might be back for more of this, but it's not a story chapter. It's just a bonus with some new gimmicks, like how your dash doesn't replenish when you touch the ground, and some cool hot and cold stuff. To do more in the mountain requires 4 crystal hearts for the A side and more for the B and C sides. But we'll see a little bit of this for now. And then we also have a bunch of stuff to do in some bonus videos, so there's going to be more Celeste. Hey there, kiddo. Nice to see you again. Here's the cave I told you about on the phone. Follow me. By the way, Chapter 9, Farewell, absolutely going to be done in full in a bonus video over the next few weeks. And yeah, look how my hair stays blue for a bit. It doesn't just refill that easily on its own. What is this place? The passage leads to the center of the mountain. You said you wanted to come back and explore deeper. Doesn't get any deeper than this. Be careful though, when you get this close to the heart of the mountain, its power will start affecting you differently. Yeah, I already noticed some of that. Good luck in there. So we can't proceed into the heart of the mountain because we only have the one crystal heart from, what, Chapter 2? But like I said, this is not a story chapter. We will see more of it. There will probably be 2 bonus videos, one for some Easter eggs and this and some other stuff, and then one for the entirety of Chapter 9, Farewell, the DLC. And with that, farewell to you. Thank you all for watching. Take it easy. Have a good one, y'all.